everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the 10 and 10 podcast. Today I'm releasing 3 episodes simultaneously, so if you're listening to this, you can check out the other 2 episodes afterwards if you like. And if you haven't already, make sure to listen to the 10 and 10 trailer, which explains the podcast more in depth, and I talk about my interests and who I am as well. Today I am listing 10 things you can do when you're bored or stuck at home. So I have 5 categories. So the first one is health plus fitness. The second one is productivity and organization. The third one is nature slash outdoors. The fourth one is self-care. And lastly, we have other, so any random thing that I could think of that I like to do when I'm bored. So to start off with health and fitness, so my first thing is to do the Sally Up challenge. So if you haven't heard of it, it's basically a song that's very repetitive, and the only lyric is the only lyric is bring Sally up, and you can do this challenge with squats, push-ups, sit-ups, etc., etc. It doesn't really matter. I like to do push-ups because they're the most difficult for me. But basically, every time they say the lyric, you have to do a push-up, and then you have to maintain it until they say it again. So you can check it out on YouTube to see how it works. I personally think it's really fun, and you can even do you can even track your progress by doing it every week or every month and seeing if you improve or not. So that's it for the Sally Up challenge. Second, we have try a new workout slash exercise. So if you only lift, like, I don't know, 5 times a week, for example, then you can go out for a run, go on a bike ride, or do some Pilates slash yoga. I think this is maybe the most important thing of um, all 10 things to do when you're bored on this list, because it's always important to get out of that mindset of sticking to one thing. It's always important to adapt to change and to accept change, because if you're always stuck doing one thing, then it's going to be really hard to go out and try something different. And it's really easy to fall into that mindset where you're very close minded. So I love to change it up sometimes, depending on the season or the circumstances. I love trying new things. So that was it for health plus fitness. Now for productivity plus organization. So 3, clean your room. So cleaning your room is very hard. I know. For me, it's difficult because I'm not really motivated to do it a lot of the time. I keep procrastinating about it, but something that helps me is to treat it like I'm doing my homework. So I'm grabbing a snack, I'm putting on a podcast or music, I'm opening the blinds, etc. Like, when I do my homework, I clear my space so I can focus better. Same thing when you're cleaning your room. You should make it an activity instead of a chore. Make it enjoyable. So yeah, I love to clean my room now because I'm a lot, like, it makes me listen to a podcast, or it's just very, I feel better when I see a clean room instead of when I walk in my room and it's all messy. It motivates me to work more as well. So that's it for the cleaning your room. 4, you can take a piece of paper and make 5 categories. So the categories are health, family plus friends, self-care, school slash job, and bucket list or goals. Then under each one, you can write 5 things that you want to improve upon. So let's say you want to become fluent in Spanish, then you could write it under your bucket list slash goals column. And if you want to stop being on your phone past, for example, 8 o'clock, then you would put it in your self-care or health section. And after you've done all this, so you should have 25 things jotted down. If you want, you can find a bunch of pictures on the internet related to those goals and make a giant dream board or whatever they're called. And what I did was I printed the pics out. I took a bunch of thumbtacks and I pinned the images on my cork board, then hung it in my room. So this tiny project is a good way to visualize your goals and where you want to be, as well as motivate you to start moving towards them. So for the third category, nature slash outdoors, the first thing is to find slash press flowers or leaves. So there's two main ways to do this. So the long how to, so this takes 2 to 4 weeks, is to take two pieces of paper, put your flower in between, and then press it in a book. And the second way is to press the flowers between two pieces of paper that are absorbent and then flatten with a heavy book. Um, this is with an iron. I don't know how to pronounce that, but basically, you heat the iron on low, then once warm, you can press the iron on top of the upper sheet of paper for 10 to 15 seconds, and then you can wait for another 15 seconds until the paper has cooled. Then you can repeat this process and then carefully lift the paper to check if the flour is stiff and dry. So I learned this on the site proflowers.com, so I'll put the link in the description. Again, all the information I'm taking from different websites are going to be linked in the description. So yeah, I love to press flowers and to put them in frames or that kind of stuff. I haven't done it in a while, so I'll probably go out in the next week and find some flowers. 6, if it's dark out, take a blanket outside in your back or front yard and stargaze. I love to stargaze. It's something that, because usually if I'm not doing anything, I get really bored, but that's one thing where I could just stare up at the sky and feel like I'm doing something. It's not boring for me, so I love to do that if it's dark out and I have no responsibilities. So now for the fourth category of self-care. I don't really like this term because it's usually used to say, um, like, I'm going to do a self-care night or I'll do some self-care this morning, but you should always be caring for yourself. So that's just something I wanted to point out. 7, you can try meditating. It's actually really hard, so don't make the mistake I made when I first started out. I thought I would be amazing at it, and went on YouTube and started listening to a 30-minute meditation. And after 5 minutes, I was getting really impatient. So, if you're just starting off, make sure to take it progressively. 8, start journaling. So, these are some prompts that you can start off with that I took from the website wittanddelight.com. I'll also link that in the description. So, 1, what do I know to be true that I didn't know a year ago? What distractions get in the way of being my most productive? When do I feel most in tune with myself? If someone described me, what would they say? And what can wait until next week? So, there's a few of those prompts. I would encourage you to check out the website for more prompts. Um, Also, you don't have to use prompts to journal. Like, you can just write whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be a reflection. You can write, I don't know, your top 10 favorite foods or um, anything like that. Just write something. That's journaling. So, yeah, and for the category other, you can write a short story or a play or essay, etc. It doesn't really matter, just something that you're not used to, and they'll channel your creativity. So these are some prompts from the writepractice.com. They have like hundreds of them, but these are a few of them. So, number 1, tell the story of a scar. Number 2, a group of children discover a dead body. Number 3, a young prodigy becomes orphaned. Number 4, a middle aged woman discovers a ghost. Number 5, a woman who is deeply in love is crushed when her fiance breaks up with her. Number 6, a talented young man's deepest fear is holding his life back. Number 7, a poor young boy or girl comes into an unexpected fortune. Number 8, a shy young woman unexpectedly bumps into her soulmate. Number 9, a long journey is interrupted by a disaster. And number 10, a young couple run into the path of a psychopath. um, so these are a few. As I said before in the last episode in my trailer, I love to write, and I do write short stories occasionally. So they're just really great because you can just really play with your imagination and write whatever you want. So number 10, make homemade ice cream. So the way I do it is I grab my favorite fruit, I put it in the freezer, and then I blend it with ice cubes and some honey and water. Um, so it can be flavorful. It's just more refreshing. You can also make a customized sundae, so put whatever candy or sauces on your ice cream. I like to go shopping for this one because you can just choose whatever you want in the aisles and aisles of food and junk food. So that's it for my 10 things to do when you're bored. I hoped you liked it, and make sure to listen to my 2 other episodes that are out today now. Follow us on Instagram at the 10 and 10 podcast for additional content, and see you soon.